guys, in my first session, I have covered introduction of C, where the C is used, which is very important topic, and the summary of the topics which I will cover chapter wise in my next session. So guys, these are the topics which I will be covering in my next session. Again guys, the reason to start with these two simple programs in this session, even before starting with the C concepts chapter wise, is guys, I want to gain lots of confidence in you. I want to give you training and making you not only understand chapter wise, but also want you to think practical wise. So that when I will cover each chapter in my next session, you will be at the stage demanding me to write more programs, and you yourself will write down the code, syncing it with the C concepts. This will make you more confident and develop lots of interest in writing code, and hence you will learn C and write down the code in few days. So there is a phrase guys, tomorrow never comes, and that is a reason I want to start this code by today. Starting with the environment setup that is required to write C program. So guys, compiler is required to build and execute your C program. So what is this compiler? Compiler reads the programming language, here the C language, and converts into machine language that computer processor understands. Compiler vendor provides IDE, that is Integrated Development Environment. MS-DOS operating system uses Turbo C IDE. Windows operating system uses Visual C++ IDE. We should have license for these IDEs in order to make use of them. So making it simpler so that we all can use IDE, I'm using CodeBlock IDE. So what is this CodeBlock IDE? It is an open source cross-platform as it supports Windows, Linux, Mac OS, and it is a free C++ IDE. It supports GNU GCC compiler and MS Visual C++ compiler. It supports interactive debugging, that is GNU GDB and MS CDB for debugging. CodeBlock is more versatile than Visual Studio Site. So how to install this CodeBlock I will cover in my next session. It's very simple steps. You need to just follow step by step. I will cover all these points in my next session guys. So let's start writing two simple C program. So let's open CodeBlock IDE. So guys, I have already installed CodeBlock, and then I will get an CodeBlock icon on my desktop. You should double click on this CodeBlock IDE and you will get this page. So here you go guys. This page will be coming for you when you double click on the CodeBlock IDE icon which is there on the desktop. So, to create a new project in order to write C program, click on File, then New, Project. I will select a console application, click on Next. As you're writing the C program, that is the reason you need to select C. Click on Next. Write the name of the project. I will give the name of the project as first C program. So guys, it's a good practice to start your title with a capital letter. That is F is capital. So it's a very good practice. Also one thing, your project title should be sensible. So you give sensible name so that user can understand what your project is. At least a small subject, it's better for the user to understand. So here I've given first C program. So folder to create project in. So guys, here I'm creating the project in this particular folder. I've created in the D drive CodeBlock C programming for your reference. Let me show you again. Click on this. select the folder which you have created where you want your project to be created. So here I have already created a folder on the C drive, that is CodeBlock C programming. Okay. So just click on next. This page will be already set for you. You don't need to change anything. Just click on finish. So just click on source. Click on main.c. So guys, CodeBlock will dump this default code for you. So we will be writing two simple C programs. So let's start. So I will be deleting this code. So guys, please note here in these programs there will be some set of instructions where I will explain you the basic, but details I will cover in my next session. So the main objective of writing this program is I want you all to get rid of writing C programs and to make you all feel C. So don't worry guys. These are very simple C programs. So starting with the first C program, that is displaying and inputting on the console. So guys, before writing any program, two things you should always take care. That is, first, I'll explain you guys. Just let me complete with these instructions. Okay. So guys, I have written this instruction, that is int main return 0. Okay. So guys, what is this? So this is this is a function whose name is main. So what is function? Let me explain you the function. So guys, one more thing again, I'll explain you the basic idea, but the details I'll cover it in the next session. The main reason to cover this two simple programs in very first session is to you all guys, I want you all to make feel C. That is the reason I'm covering here. So what is a function? So guys, function is the modularity of your program. So whenever you are writing a program, your program is having operations, mathematical operations, that is subtraction, addition, multiplication, division. So you are writing the implementation of the addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Whole implementation you are writing in single program. So when the user comes, user want only addition result, don't want subtraction, multiplication, division. But what user will get? Since your whole implementation is dumped in one program itself, the user will get unnecessary the output for other three of operations. So user is not getting satisfied. User is not getting whatever he wanted, whatever its requirement was there, it's not getting fulfilled because he wanted only one operation, but he is getting the result of other three operations. So this will also take time to execute these operations. So efficiency wise also is not good. Also it's not flexible because user is not getting the required output fulfilled. So for this, to avoid these problems, C is providing the feature which is called as function. So your function is what? So your your whole program is cut into the small modules, that is small blocks, which is called as function. So as in I told you the example of mathematical operations, addition, deletion, subtraction, multiplication, division. So there will be four functions which is doing, one function is doing multiplication, one is doing division, one is doing addition, one is doing subtraction. So because adding these implementation in four different blocks, different functions, the user will get the requirement fulfilled. User calls only addition function, so it will get the output of the addition. User calls subtraction, it will get the output of the subtraction. So you can see how much flexible for user it is. Second advantage is whenever one user is writing the whole code and your code is very large. So if the user don't write the function, user dump all the operation in the single program. Second user is told to modify the first program which the first user have done. So for that second user, it will be a burden because the second user need to take care of the whole program. He need to modify some portion, but he need to modify, that will be requiring to modify the whole program because whole implementation is in the same program. So second user need to modify the whole program itself. So you can understand how much burden if this program is very large. In that case, it will be lots of burden. So to avoid that, if you provide functions, that is modules, which you are having different operations in different functions. So for that, second user will be so much in advantage of just modifying the function instead of modifying the whole program. So guys, you understood what is function. I'll take the dedicated topic for function in my next chapter. The idea behind covering these two simple programs is to just make you all guys feel C, so that you all guys will be very much confident in writing code in few days. And C is not a rocket science. It's a very simple programming language. So that's the reason I'm covering these two simple programs, in order to gain lots of confidence in you guys. So let's come to the main function. So I have explained you the function and given the basic idea. So now let's see what is main function. So why I'm calling this as a main function? Because its name is main and it's a function. So how the function is written, how the function need to be implemented. So guys, one more thing, function, whenever I tell function, so you just remember two things should be take care in for the function. First thing is you should do the implementation of the function, that is the body. The implementation of the function is called as a body. So for example, this is a function whose name is main. That is the reason I'm calling it a main function. You can see it's having a body in the sense, here the body starts with curly braces open, curly braces closed, and in between there should be set of instructions, C instructions. That is the implementation of your function. So suppose if this was a addition function, name by addition, int addition, and round bracket open close. So you should have right implementation of addition. So this implementation of the function is called as a definition of the function, which is also called as a body of the function. So guys, function comes, in case of function, you have to take two things into account. First, this is the definition. You should write the definition of the function, implementation of the function, that is. Second thing is declaration. What does the declaration mean? So let me just explain you. For explaining purpose, I'm just writing here. Later I'll delete it. So here, okay. So the syntax for the declaration is this manner. You have to just write the name of your function, as in I wrote here main. And you need to write, like, the int is a data type, and just you should write the declaration in this format that will have this name of the function and round bracket open close semicolon, and this is the return type. So guys, I'll discuss all these keywords, that is int, all those things in my next session. This main object is to just make you all feel C. That's the reason I'm covering. So just understand for now, the declaration of the function is given by only the name of the function and this bracket open, bracket close, and semicolon. So the definition of the function is given by writing the implementation of the code in this braces. So two things you should take care whenever the term comes like function. So let me delete it because it's not required. Okay. So guys, so what is this main function? So what is the main objective of this main function? So guys, this main function, it is an entry point to start the execution of your program. So guys, whenever you are building your program, you are writing some program, you are building the program, compiling the program, then the compiler, it will just understand this main function. Compiler will search for this main function in your program. So when it finds this main function in your program, it will start the execution line by line by just referring this main function. It will go inside this main function. It will see what all implementation you have done. So it will execute those instructions line by line for you. So just remember guys, if you don't write this main function, compiler will give you a compile time error. So you can understand how much important is this main function. So it's an entry point to start an execution of your program. So if you don't write any function, you'll get a compile time. If you don't write this main function, you'll get a compile time error, because whenever you want your program to be started, executed, so you should always start with this main function. You should start your implementation with this main function. So this main function is very mandatory to be written in your each and every program. So guys, what is this compiler? Right? So compiler, when I tell compiler is used to check whether your program is correct syntax wise. So it will give the compile time error if you are having some errors in your code. If you are missing some semicolon, some syntax problem is there, then this compiler will give you compile time error. So guys, compiler, it will convert your C language into your machine language. So guys, I will cover this compiler under the basic concepts. I'll cover this whole chapter for compiler itself. So you don't worry guys, just understand compiler is to build your program, to compile your program, to just check whether your program is correct syntax wise. So I will explain in detail about compile in my next session, which I will cover under the basic concepts. So you will understand how the compiler works, what all processes are involved while executing your program. So coming back to this main function guys, you understood main function is mandatory in order to start the execution. It is an entry point to start an execution of your program. It's mandatory. You should write it in each and every program, and your implementation, your code starts from this main function itself. So here I have return 0. So this is the syntax of whenever you write any function, and I'm writing the return type as int, I'll return some value as 0. So guys, don't worry, actually all these keywords which I'll explain you in detail. Just understand this is a main function and it's written in this is a body of the main function, and this is the entry point to start an execution. You just write the implementation of your program here itself. You start from this function itself. So the second point which you should take care is comments. So what is comments? Comments is documentation of your program. That means you need to mention what is the purpose of your program. So here, since we are displaying on the console, we will be inputting on the console. This is the two things we will be doing in this program. So the main objective is to display and to input on the console. So in the comments, you should mention what is the objective. So here I'll give it as displaying and inputting on the console. Second thing, in the comments, you should write the date when you create this program. So you should mention the date. So if I am coding today, I'll give the today's date. Third thing, you should give the author. Author is in the sense, since I'm writing the program, I will mention my name. If you write the program, you mention your name. So these three things is very much important. You should take care to mention all these things in the comment. So why this comment is necessary? The comment is necessary for readability purpose. In the sense, whenever you are writing some program and the program is very large, so the user want to know what you are doing in your program. So user need to go line by line in your program and see what you are doing exactly. So it is a big burden. If the program is large, it's a big burden for the user. So if you just mention in the comment what your program is doing, so it will be so easy for the user to understand what's the objective of your program, and it will be also easy to pick up the user from where to start. So the user will get a clear picture of what your program is doing. So you can understand how much important this comment is. So also it's a very good practice. So whenever you write a program in any IT company, they will be expecting you to write a good program practice. So you should not forget to write these comments. So comments comes in, there are two types of comments which C provides. First one is single line comment, and second one is multi-line comments. So guys, single line comments. So here, since my objective is to display and input on console, so this is a single line comment. So single line in the sense, your single line comment will start with the // so only one line comment is there, so I will mention in this form. So if I am mentioning this, that is a date, I'm mentioning author, okay guys. So you can see I've written 3 comments. So every time I'm giving this // if the comments was more, again I need to give a //. So since there are multi-line of comments, the C have provided a support to multi-line comments, wherein you should start with where your comments start. You just start it by giving /start, and where the comment ends, You close it by star slash. So it's easy for user, right? User don't need to give again and again double forward slash for the multi-line comments. Just give in this manner. So guys, you understand what is the purpose of the comment. So guys, if you don't write a comment, remember compiler, when you compile the program, compiler won't give any error. So so this comment is good for your good programming practice, and it's also good for readability purpose for other users to understand. So you should always follow this good programming practice. So two things guys you understood you should take care. Mentioning this main function so that you can start the execution of your program. It's an entry point to start an execution of your program, and just mention the comments in this manner. So guys, let's start with our first program, that is to display and to the input on the console. So we will see each instruction line by line. I'll explain you the basic idea of it. Let me complete with this instruction guys. I'll explain you. Okay. So guys, I'm calling this function. So let me tell you what does the function call mean. So guys, I told you the function definition is given in this manner. You need to start with braces open, braces close, and you need to write the implementation of the code, that is called as definition of the body. So what does this instruction mean? So this instruction means there is a function named printf and I'm calling it. So the calling is like in this manner, that is in this round bracket open close, I'm passing this string to it. What does it means? So whenever you are calling any function, you just give the name of that function and you just pass the input to that function. So whatever the function expects as input, as a number or as a character, you just pass to it. So the call, and just mention semicolon. So calling of the function is given in this manner. So you understood regarding function, the definition is like that. That is the implementation. Declaration, as in I told you, I deleted it now earlier. I told you just giving the return type, that is int, main, round bracket, open, close, semicolon. That is a declaration. And third thing is calling of the function by just giving the name of the function and passing the input to it. So this is the manner I am calling it. So guys, again to repeat, I'll cover all the details of the function in the dedicated chapter for the function. The main objective of this program is to just make you feel C, to make you confident in writing C programs, so that you won't be in that sense that C is a rocket science, a very simple language. You'll love it. You'll find it more interesting. That is the reason I'm covering these two simple programs in my very first session, guys. So you understood, I'm calling this printf. I'm calling this function printf, name printf. I'm passing the string to it. So guys, here I'm calling this printf function, but where is the definition of the function? Where it is implemented? You can't see here, right? No, you can't see here. So the compiler will give me error if I'll compile this program. Compiler will say, where is the definition? You're calling it, but you're not defining it. So I'll get a compile time error if I just use this instruction. So to fix this issue, compile time error, I will give one more statement. I'll explain you what does it mean. Let me complete first. So guys, I'm including this header file. So I'll explain you word by word what does it mean. So this hash include. So guys, this hash include is a preprocessor directive. So I'll explain you this hash include for the dedicated chapter, that is preprocessor, which I'll cover in the basic concepts in the next session. So just for now, understand this is hash include, that is a preprocessor directive, and stdio.h. This is .h, it is .h means it's a header file. So guys, for the document file, you mention the extension as .doc. For text file, you mention the extension as .txt. Similarly, for the header file, we give the extension as .h. What is this header file now? Let me tell you that. So this header file, it will contain the declarations of the function. That is prototype of the function. So guys, one more thing to remember, it's very much important. The compiler is providing the predefined library for user to use. What does it mean? What is this predefined library? So the compiler provides predefined library. Predefined library will have the implementation of the set of the functions in it. So it is already providing the predefined library which will have some set of functions which is already implemented to you. So you don't need to write the implementation of function again. So if you want that function to be, if you want that operation of that function to be done, you just call that function. You don't implement because the compiler have already provided the definition implementation. You just need to call that function in order to use it, and you should mention its header file. As in I told you, header file will have the declaration of the function. So predefined library always contains the functions defined in it, implemented in it, and predefined header files. Header file will contain the declarations that of that functions. So the compiler is providing the predefined header file for this printf. So this printf I'm calling, I'm not implementing, because this predefined library, it is already having this printf implemented in its library. So I just need to call it. I don't need to implement it again. And I should always mention the header file where this function is declared, because this header file is the predefined header file and it will have the declaration of the function. So if I'm calling this printf, I should this printf, since it is already declared, since the standard predefined header file is already provided by the compiler, which will have the declaration of this printf function. So you don't forget to write the statement #include stdio.h. So guys, you understood. So you are calling this printf, but where it is declared, since it is declared in the predefined header file which the compiler provides, you should always mention it. So guys, for example, compiler is providing predefined library for mathematical operations. So for the mathematical operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, all these things, already the compiler is providing a predefined library, that is, compiler is already implementing these functions. So you don't need to implement it again. You just call those functions. How you will call? By including the header file. The header file will have that header file which will have the declarations of addition, subtraction. So what is that header file which will have the declaration? So just for reference, just to explain you, I'm mentioning this header so that you can understand what I am saying exactly. So compiler is providing predefined library for your mathematical operation, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and those functions are declared in this header file mat.h. So if I am calling here some mathematical operations, addition and all that, if I'm calling, then in that case I need to mention this header file. So like similarly this printf. So what is this printf doing? This printf is basically to display on the console. So guys, you don't need to implement this function again, that is to display on the console, because already compiler is providing predefined library which is having the definition of printf, which will do the implementation, which will display on the console. So that printf is declared in the header file, that is stdio.h. So you should just mention this header file where it is declared and you can call this printf. So I'll just delete this mat.h. This was just for reference to explain you. So guys, you understood. So why we are calling this printf? Because it is used to display on the console. I am not implementing it because already compiler is providing this function, is already implemented. Just call it, and I'll not forget to mention this #include header file stdio.h. So this printf call will just display hello world on the console, nothing else. So guys, let's run it so that you can understand clear picture. So just to compile the program, click on build and compile the current file. Let's see if some error is occurring. So you can see guys, here you will get 0 error, 0 warning. So what is this all comment? What all these things are? So it is whenever you're building a program, the output you will get in this window. So how you can view this window? For that, you just select view, you click on view and you click on logs. Already this logs is set. That is the reason I'm getting this message here in the window itself. I'm getting this log. So for you can click on view, you can click on logs. You will get this window wherein you can see when you are building the program, you can see the message. If there is no error, you can see 0 error. If there is some error, this window will give you the error and what error is there so that you can resolve it. So let's run this. How to run it? Build, run. You can also give the shortcut keys here, Control F10. So you can guys. So guys, let's run again. Project. Because I didn't save it, that is the reason it didn't get reflected. Build and run. So guys, you can see I'm getting hello world printed on the console. So earlier I was not getting because I didn't save the program. So if you just save the program, whatever you do, any modifications, and you build your program, you will get this hello world printed on your console. So here I'm since printing only hello world. That is the reason if you print hello only, let's save it. Always remember to save it. Otherwise, whatever you're making change won't reflect. So guys, you can see I'm getting hello printed. I have modified hello world to hello. That is the reason I'm getting the string printed. So this is just to display the console. So one part is over of this program, that is to display. You can see how much easy it is. So let's cover the second part, that is to input on the console. So I want user to give any input on the console. So suppose I want user to give the input on the console as a number. I only want the user to give the input as a number. So how you should give it? Just let me complete with this instruction. I will explain you guys, don't worry. So scanner, I'll explain you guys, don't worry. So guys, one more thing in this calling this printf is, guys, you can see I'm giving this string to it and I'm giving this /n, that is. So why this /n is required actually? In order to display whatever you are displaying, whatever string you are writing here, it will be displayed in a new line. So you should always, for the clarity purpose, it's good if you mention it to be printed on the new line by giving /n. So I'll cover all these things in my next session. So don't worry, just understand this /n I've given because I want this hello to be printed in a new line. Also one thing guys, whenever you are writing any C instructions, you should follow a proper indentation, meaning here you can see guys I'm giving a tab. So just give a tab actually whenever you start the C instructions, you give a tab. So this also is good for clarity wise, readability purpose, it's very good, and every programmer should give this, follow it because it's a good programming practice. Always you are working in an IT company, they will expect you to follow a proper indentation. There will be many comments like if you don't give good indentation, you will get always a feedback actually. So you should always follow a proper indentation. So don't miss to give a tab actually. So whatever instruction you write, give a tab there. Also you can understand how much good it looks actually for readability purpose. So okay, so guys, what I'm doing, I'm calling this function and I'm giving this two things in it. So as I told, the calling of the function is by name of the function in round bracket, whatever input the function expects, and then semicolon. So I'm passing this one thing, that is %d. So what is this %d in C language? It is a format specifier. So guys, again to repeat, I'll cover detail in the next session. This is just to give an overall, this is just to make you feel C, and to just, I want all you to get rid of C. That's the reason I'm covering these two programs. So this %d is format specifier. So why I've given this %d? So guys, I want to print the input. I want the user to give the input as a number on the console. So for that for the number, you should always mention the format specifier. This is called as format specifier. For number, it will be %d. If you want the user to give input as a character, so you should write the format specifier as %c. So there are different format specifiers for different data. That is for character, that will be %c, for number it will be %d, for float value, for real numbers it will be %temp. So we will cover all these things in the next session. Just understand, I want the user to give the input as number. For number, the format specifier you should mention in this manner, %d, that is. Then second thing which I am passing is ampersand a. What does it mean? So it means ampersand denotes here address of a. So guys, I want user to give the value that is as a number. So that number will be I will be storing in this variable. So this is called as variable. I'll cover in the next session. Understand? This is a variable which will store the value which the user gives on the console. That is the reason I have given this second part in this after comma. I have given this address a. That means I am storing whatever user gives on the console, that will be stored in the address of this variable. So this is a variable. I explain all the terms, variable, everything in my next session, guys. So why I'm calling this scanf? So as I told, we want the user to give input on the console. So already again the compiler is providing the predefined library which will have the definition of the scanf, what it will do, that function will already ask user to give an input on the console. So you don't need to do any implementation again for the user to give input. Already the compiler is providing predefined library for you. So that function is already defined and that function is declared in the same header file which I have given. So displaying on the console and inputting on the console already is provided by the compiler. Already there is a libraries for it, and the header and all those functions are declared in this header file. So you won't get any error. So let me display some message so that user will understand user is supposed to give an input. Please give the input. Again I'll give /n so that I'll get this message on the new line. So let's run it. I've saved it. Click on build and run. So I'm getting a message. Please give the input. I'll give the number 6. So guys, this is over. So for verification purpose, let me print here so that user will understand, yes, whatever user is giving input, yes, you can cross check by just printing that value. So how I will check value is, I'll explain you what I'm doing here. So guys, we have seen this printf which I used here. So this printf wherein I was just giving a message here and with the new line /n. So here this printf, it is having two things present. I'm passing two things in it. What is that? Value is %d. Again guys, as I told you, this %d is called as format specifier. Since I want to print the value on the console, I'm using this format specifier. Whenever you're dealing with the value, just don't forget to miss this %d for the number. Since I want number to be printed, I'll use this format specifier %d, and I want this value to be printed on the console, so I'm giving here this. So I'll give again this, I want it to be printed on new line. So let's build it. Please give the input. So guys, you can see I've given the input A and I'm getting values 8 because I have given the message value is with %d format specifier, since I want this value to be printed on the console. So this completes our very first program that is very simple, just to display and to input on the console. So guys, to summarize, I'm calling this printf, I'm calling this scanf, I'm just calling it and passing input to it. I'm not defining this function because already compilers provided predefined libraries which will have the definition of this printf scanf, and where that function is declared, you are supposed to mention that header file, and that is stdio.h. And that is the reason compiler is not giving any error, because I have mentioned this header file which will have the declaration present. I have explained you what is function definition, that is a body. What is function declaration, that is simply int the name of the function and the round bracket open close semicolon, and how to call the function by just giving the name of the function, passing the input which the function expects. So this completes our very first program. Let's start the second program, that is to detect whether the number is prime or not. So I'll modify this program itself. So let's modify the comment also, because now the objective is changing. We need to find whether number prime or not. So guys, I hope you know what is prime number, but to repeat, I'll explain you what is the prime number. It's opening the paint. Okay, this is just for explaining you. So guys, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So guys, these are the numbers. Say I need to find whether the number is prime or not. So what is prime number? So prime number is a number which is divisible by itself, which is divisible by 1, and which is not divisible by any other numbers except itself, except 1. So in this case, if you see number 6, so if the user gives 6, whether it is prime number or not, let's see. So whether 6 is divisible by itself, yes. Divisible by 1, yes. So every number will be divisible by itself, divisible by 1. Let's see the third condition, that is whether it's divisible by any other number except for number 1 and except itself. Let's see. So whether 6 is divisible by 5, no. 6 is divisible by 4, no. 6 is divisible by 3, yes. 6 divided by 3, you can see the remainder 0, right? So 6 is divided by 3, okay, and also the 6 is divided by 2. So you can see 6 is divisible by 3. So this stops here only. So that means this number is not prime, because I told the number is prime only when the third condition, that is when the number is not divisible by any other number except by 1, except by itself. So here I can see the number is divisible by 3, that means it's not a prime number. So let's see whether this number 3 is prime number or not. So number 3, whether it is divisible by 2, no. So in the 3 number, you can see it's not divisible by any other numbers except 1, except itself. So this you can say 3 is a prime number. So guys, always remember, whenever you are given some program to code, so first, if there is some mathematical operation, so don't forget to write a paperwork. Just open the notepad, write the logic of that program, understand what is the requirement of your program, design the program. That means understand what is the requirement. This is very much important. So that if you know the requirement, if you design it earlier, then when you code the program, it won't take much time. So do this paperwork. It will take initial little time, but while writing the program, it won't take much time, because many times happens the programmer starts directly with code and it's like a simple program. It finds very much difficult to write because not done any paperwork. So that paperwork will you need to spend little time, not much also. So this will very much reduce the time of writing the program. So as in we have seen what is a prime number. So we know it, what is the requirement, what is number. So let's see what logic we should apply. So you can see guys, logic, it will be in this manner. Since if your user is giving the input as 6, you can see I'm checking all the numbers which are lesser than 6. I'm seeing whether that number is divisible by 6, whether 5 is divisible by 6, whether 6 is divisible by 5, whether 6 is divisible by 4. So till what condition should I check? As in I told, all numbers are divisible by itself and divisible by 1. So that means we'll put the checkpoint in 1, because all the numbers will be divisible by 1. So it's common for prime or for non-prime, the number will be divisible by 1. So let's skip that. We don't need to check that. So we'll put the checkpoint till 1 only. We don't want to be checked with 1. We want all the other numbers we can check. So what I'm doing is, I'm checking whether 6 is divisible by 5, 6 is divisible by 4, 6 is divisible by 3, 6 is divided by 2. All these things I'll do, but I won't check 6 is divided by 1. So how you will do this code? Let me write a program so that you'll get a clear idea. So guys, first you just display a message for the user to understand that user is supposed to give an input so that you can detect whether that number is real or not, that number is prime or not. Please enter number. Again, I'll give /n so that this message will be printed on the new line. Okay. So I want user to give an input. That is the reason I'll call this scanf, as I explained you in the first program, that scanf is used so that user can give an input on the console. Since it's a number, I'll give format specifier. I told you for number the format specifier is %d. Okay. So these two simple things are covered here, just giving an input, and you are aware of that because I've explained you in the first program. So what I'm doing, I'll tell you guys, just let me complete. You'll understand one by one, each and everything I'll explain you in detail. So, okay, let me write the code, I'll explain you then what I'm doing. I'll explain you each and every instructions which I'm using, so don't worry. Okay guys, so guys, what I'm doing here, so I'm using this for and I'm writing all these instructions. So what does it for means? So guys, first of all, for is used. C provides this for. It is a keyword. I'll explain in detail in the next session, but basic I'll explain you now. So for is a keyword which C provides. It is used for iteration purpose. So if you want the same code to be executed for different inputs, then in this case you need to use this for keyword. So let me explain in more detail, you will understand. See, here if the user gives the input as 6. So what is the logic of the code? How I will see whether it is a prime number or not? I'll see whether 6 is divisible by 5. 6 divisible by 5, whether the remainder is 0. If the remainder is 0, whether its remainder is 0, no. In this case, 6 divided by 5, remainder is not 0. So in that case, I'll check whether remainder is equal to 0. No, it's not 0. So it's not, so we need to check whether 6 is divisible by 4. Okay. So 6 divisible by 4. No, it's not divisible. Remainder is not 0. Okay. Then 6 division. I have to check till the point where if this input number is divisible by any other number. In that case only it will stop. It will say the number is not a prime number. So 6 divisible by 3, remainder is 0. Yes, 6 is divisible by 3 and the remainder is 0. So guys, you can see the same logic is used but for different inputs. In the sense, 6 divisible by 5 where the remainder is 0. 6 divisible by 4 where the remainder is 0. 6 divisible by 3, remainder is 0. So you can see same logic is used. I'm checking every time the remainder is 0. So same code is repeating again and again but for different input, like for 5, for 4, 5, 3. So 5, 4, for 5. For 4, for 3. For these different inputs, same logic is there. We need to check whether the remainder is 0 or not. So in this case, C is so in that case, if this for keyword was not there, what was the problem? The user need to do same code, need to check whether the 6 is divided by 5, remainder 0. Again the same code, user need to write 6 divisible by 4, where the remainder 0. Again the same code, user need to write 6 divided by 3, where the remainder 0. So you can see how much burden. If the number was infinite, then what a question mark, right? User can't write infinite times, right? So to avoid this burden for the user, C is providing the facility that is called as for. It's a for keyword wherein it allows you to iterate actually for different inputs, and the same code you can repeat for different inputs. So this 6 divided by 5, 6 divided by 4, 6 divided by 3. So all these same code is repeated. This for can be achieved by this for. Same code can be, you just write once only the code and you mention in the for how much time you want to do this operation. What is the iteration? 2 times, 3 times, how much time you want the same code to be executed for different inputs. So in this for, you should mention at what point you should start, at what point you should end, and what is the condition till this for loop should be repeated. In the sense, you can see for prime number, to find the number is prime, I'm checking till 6 divided by 5, where the remainder 0, 6 divided by 4, where the remainder 0, 6 divided by 3, remainder 0, yes. So I'm checking, I'll check till that point. Okay, so common thing is that I need to check with the numbers which is lesser than 6 till number which is till 2 I want to check, because I told all the numbers which are prime or which are not prime will be divisible by 1. So why I will check the 1? It's not common, right? So it's common for both, for prime and for non-prime. So I will stop the checkpoint till 1. I will check till I will start with the number which is less than 6. I will divide 6 with all the numbers which is less than 6, and I will end till the number which is greater than 1, because 1 is, you can see all numbers is divisible by 1, prime or non-prime. So I won't put this condition. I'll put the checkpoint till this number itself 2. So guys, in this manner we'll proceed. So let's come to code again so you will understand. So see, since I told you this is my input number 6, and I will check all the numbers which are lesser than 6. I'll check whether all these numbers, whether 6 is divisible by all these numbers, and it will end till the point when the number is greater than 1, because I don't want to check 6 is divisible by 1. It's obviously divisible, so I don't want to check till that. I will close the checkpoint till this 2. So let's come back to this for loop, what I've done here. So this for loop, you understood, this is just the condition, the iteration, how much time your same code should be repeated. You should mention all these things here. So in the I'm passing 3 things in it. It's separated by semicolon, you can see. So I is equal to a minus 1. So what is a? User have passed any value, say 6. That will be stored in a. So a is having 6 if user gives 6 as an input. So I will be what? I is equal to a minus 1. That is, I will be 5. Since I told you that we will be starting with all the numbers which are lesser than the input number. We'll check all the numbers which are lesser than the input number. We'll check whether 6 is divisible by all those numbers. And we'll close till the checkpoint should be greater than 1. So we are checking with number less than this input number. So that is the reason I'm writing I is equal to a minus 1. I will be 5. So my starting point will be I is equal to 5. I want to start with the number which is less than the input number. So input number is 6. And that is the reason I will be 5. So I is greater than 1. Yes. Since why I'm writing I greater than 1? Again to repeat, I told you I don't want to check whether number is divisible by 1, because all the numbers will be divisible by 1. I want to put the checkpoint till number which is greater than 1. All numbers will be checked except I won't check 1. So I will put the condition that you just do the iteration, but you just close the iteration when you find the number is greater than 1. That is, the number is 2 but not 1. That is the reason I've given this condition I greater than 1 and I minus, because again and again I'm decrementing the value. I'm checking whether 6 is divisible by number which is less than it, that is 5. Then I will see whether 6 is divisible by 4. So you can see I'm decrementing 5 to 4, 4 to 3. So I will go on and the condition will be stopped till number greater than 1. So guys, you understood these 3 things which I've passed, right? Your start point will be I is equal to 5. Because you are checking your input number is 6, so you will start the number with 5, then 4, then 3, like that. So you should continue it till I greater than 1, because all numbers are divisible by 1. I don't want it to check till 1, so I am writing I greater than 1. And I minus because I am decrementing every time. So this is the thing. So what should be here? So here I will check. Let me complete this line. So guys, what I'm doing here, since I told you the logic that we will check 6 is divisible by 5 where the remainder is 0. So if the 6 is divisible by 5, remainder 0, no. 6 is divisible by 4, remainder 0, no. 6 divisible by 3, remainder 0, yes. 6 divided by 3, you can see remainder is 0. That means the number is not prime. Because the number will be prime only when it is not divisible by any other number except itself, except 1. So here, since 6 is divisible by 3, the number won't be a prime. That is the reason I'm checking this condition. So this for loop starts by I is equal to 5. So your A is 6 you are passing. If you pass the input as 6, I will be 5. So I will check whether 6 divided by 5, whether remainder is 0 or not. So 6 divided by remainder is 0, no. So you, in that case, you won't get this statement executed. Again, it will come in this for loop. Your I will get decremented. Now I becomes as 4 because earlier it was 5. Then it will be here, it will be checked whether 6 divided by 4 remainder 0. No, it's not 0. So this won't be getting printed. Again, it will iterate here. Same code will be iterated. Again, I will be decremented. I will be 3. So I is equal to 3. Again, if 6 divided by 3 equal to 0. Yes, it is 0. So then in that case, it's not a prime number because it's divisible by 3. So then in that case, I'll get my output. So guys, you can see I'm getting my output. So I don't want other iterations. I don't want I to be decrement to 2 because I got my output in middle. So for that too, so let me complete this. I'll explain you what I will do. Since so guys, I'm using this break actually. So guys, you can see in middle only, I got 6 mod of 3 is equal to 0. Yes, so the number is not prime. So I got my output. I don't want other iterations which are there. I don't want I to be decremented and come to 2 and check because I got in middle. So in that case, whenever C provides a provision, whenever you want to come out of your loop, in that case, just use this keyword, that is break. That will directly at that point come out of this for loop. Whatever loop you have used, it will come out of it, and then you will, again the iteration won't happen. So this is very much efficient. You can see C is providing everything for you for efficiency, but just you need to use it. So break I'll explain in detail in my next session. So just understand the basic idea why I'm using it. So guys, you can understand. Okay. So let me complete. Let me take the input as, now we have checked for 6. Let me take the input as 3. Okay. So if the user gives the number as 3, okay, whether that number is prime or not, let us see. So I is equal to 2 because a minus 1, 3 minus 1 is 2. So 3 mod of 2, no, it's not equal to 0. So this won't be getting executed. So you can see then I will be decremented, I will be coming 1 since this condition I greater than 1. And here when I decrements, the I value comes from 2 to 1. So this condition is not satisfied. So it won't check for this for loop. It will directly come outside. But I didn't get my output where I printed, guys. See, you have checked when the number was not prime. When the number was 6. 6 mod of 3 was 0 and you got this number prime. Right? You got this output, number is not prime, and break was done. So the control came out of this for loop. So every time whether the number is prime or not, the control will come one time it will come out of this for loop, right? So for number prime, for not prime, always it will come outside of the for loop when the condition is satisfied or not satisfied. So how I will distinguish in that case? So let me use one more term which will clearly complete this program. Let me tell you. So here I am using this flag. I'll tell you what is its importance and why I'm using it. I'll explain you guys. Please don't worry. Okay, I'm using I, but I should declare. Whenever you are using any variable, don't forget to declare it. Okay guys, so what I'm adding is flag is equal to 1 and I'm doing this. What does it mean? See, why I'm doing this? Because when you pass the input as 6, so when 6 is mod of 3 is equal to 0, you get this value, get this message printed, number is not prime. In that case, since my variable was 0, this becomes as 1. So then since break is there, it comes out of the for loop. So guys, in this case, I can write here for number, you got the message for number is not prime. So where is the message for number prime? So that is the reason I'm putting this flag. So I will check here that if the flag is 0, so guys, actually, yeah. So see, why I've written this flag, because I've displayed a message for not prime but not displayed for prime. So when when you pass input as 6, this condition will be satisfied. When a mod of 3 is equal to 0, you'll get this message number is not prime, and you will get this flag set. So whenever your number is not prime, you will have this flag set. So if you pass as 3, so this message won't be printed and your flag won't be changed to 1, though your flag will be remain as it is, that is 0. So you can simply put a condition here, flag is equal to 0, number is prime, simply. So if it's not prime, this flag won't be set, it will be 0, that means the number is prime. That is the reason I have printed this message, guys. So let's save this. I'm completed with this program. You can understand. Now let me run it. Okay, it's building it. Okay, I'm getting his console. It is output console. Let's see what I'll get the output. It's still building and executing the output. So guys, it tell me please enter the number. I will write 6. So guys, I got the output number is not prime, because I told you 6 is divisible by 3, the remainder is 0, so the number is not prime. So number is prime only when it's divisible by itself, divisible by 1 but not divisible by any other number. Since it's divisible by 3, it's not a prime number. So guys, you understood the logic of the program, what I was doing. Just to summarize again in short for you to understand clearly, I'm using this main function. As I told, the entry, it's an entry point to start an execution of any program. You don't miss writing it because it's mandatory, and you will get compile time error if you don't write, and your program won't get executed. So just write this main function, and this is the body of the function by giving this braces. So what I want to detect whether the number is prime or not. So I'm printing this. I told you this, just I'm calling this function. Already C is providing me predefined header file library present, which is wherein this printf is defined. So to call it, I should only declare the header file, which will have the declaration of that function. Since stdio.h is having the declaration of printf scanf, I'm calling these two functions. So this printf is used to display on the console. You'll get a message on the console. Scanf is used to give an input on the console. Since I want a number to be detected as prime, I want number. I don't want a character. I'm passing format specified as %d, and this is the syntax of it. So I'm using for loop because, as in I told you guys, to repeat again, that whenever the number is prime, how to find. So if the number is 6, I will check all the numbers which are lesser than 6 till I'll put the checkpoint, it should be greater than 1. Should start with a number which is lesser than the input number, and it will go on decrementing till this value, that is the number should be greater than 1, because I'll check whether 6 mod of 5 is equal to 0, 6 mod of 4 equal to 0, and same code is used. And for that case, I'm using this for loop. You can repeat same code for different inputs, and you can check whether it's remainder 0, then the number is not prime. And why I'm using this flag? Because it is to just distinguish. I'm getting this message for not prime. What about number is prime? So just set a flag so that when this flag will be set only when the number is not prime. That means this flag is not set. That means number is prime. So here I've written that if condition for that. Why this break? Because in middle only if I'll get the output. So I don't want other iterations. So I'll just put break here. I got the output. I'll put a break. Will come out. So guys, I'm done with the second program. You can understand I'm using different keywords like int, for, if, or break, all these things, guys. So guys, I just summarized in this session so that you'll get an idea what is C. You can feel C, and basically this will gain lots of confidence in you. The reason covering this program even before starting the chapter-wise discussion is because I want all you to get rid of writing C programs. You should know that C is a very simple. You'll get lots of fun. So guys, after covering, I have covered this session actually of writing 2 simple programs. Now, in the next chapters, I will start one by one discussing each and every topic. As I told you, that I will cover each and every topics, like I'll cover basic elements required to learn C. So in this case, in this chapter, I will explain you what is the concepts behind it. Then I will start writing the code. I will make lots of hands-on. I'll make all of you to write the program, and I will cover all the interview related questions. So we will move step by step, chapter wise chapter. So before that, just I have covered this so that you can be confident. You will be aware that C is not a difficult, it's a very simple language, and you'll get lots of confidence. And guys, I'll cover 2-3 concepts under the basic concepts, like I'll make you understand what is preprocessor, what is compiler. So all those terminologies which will be used in these chapters, I will cover all these terminologies in the basic concepts. So this basic concepts will have sessions on the preprocessor, on the compiler, on the comments. So you can just refer those sessions. I'll just make the session after I complete this session. So you can refer those sessions, and then we will be starting these chapters actually, wherein concepts, programs, lots of hands-on, and lots of interview related questions which are frequently asked. We will cover all those things. So guys, you will learn C from scratch. You will find it very easy. You will have lots of fun with me, guys, because I will make you all understand from basic concepts. So you will writing the C program from simple to complex without any problem, and you will be very much confident, guys. So please be ready for the next session. We will have lots of fun together, guys. I enjoyed explaining you guys. Thank you, guys. Thanks a lot.